Well, shooters and reloaders out there, it's Fortune Cookie 45LC coming to you from the Hot Lead Zone. And what you see here is a timer that's running from 20 minutes because there's bullets going through a tumbler to be powder coated, and we want to let it run for 20 minutes. But I just want to show you that what I'm doing here is using that time to size and prime 60 cases. 357 Magnum, and I'm putting Magnum primers into these cases. So I've got another 5 minutes before the tumbler is done. Now all I did was poured the bullets into the tumbler and plugged it in, and then now I'm doing something else. So the time is being used for a good purpose. So you see here I'm done with 60 cases and we've got 1:43 left. Now I'll just go up and take the bullets and pour them out of the tumbler into a basket and put it into the oven. So the effort involved in doing the powder coated bullets that way is not a lot of effort. And the time, sure, it seems that 20 minutes is a long linear time, but it's not a problem when we can use the time to good advantage, such as doing this. Or I could have been at my Dillon and actually loaded 100 rounds of completed ammo in the 20 minutes without any kind of problem at all. So now we'll go ahead and do that, and when I get the cases into the oven, we'll go ahead and run another batch in the tumbler, come down here and prime another 60 cases. Got the brass over there all ready to go. Well, first of all, this is a VR to Elvis Ammo. And the first thing I'd like to do is welcome Elvis Ammo to the realm of YouTube posting and channel and doing videos and all this kind of thing to get information out. We want to do that. But in all the time that we've been doing the tumbling to get the powder to stick on to the bullets, it's not a question of linear speed. It's a question of how much work you've got to do to get there. And if there's a 20-minute window, we can use that time to do something else. And certainly we can get a lot done in that 20-minute window, whether it's oven baking or whether it's tumbling in the vibratory tumbler. Now when it comes to powder coating, of course we're looking at something that's still relatively new. There's no write-ups about powder coating in the loading manuals, this kind of thing. So basically we're looking at ground that is new to a lot of casters and powder coaters. But however, the things that we do, whether it's the vibratory tumbler or whether it's your way of Elvis' way of doing the heat to get the powder to stick, it's all been tried. There are the wet systems where perhaps mineral spirits or acetone is used to mix the powder and get it to emulsify and then coat the bullets and let it dry and get a coating that way. Well, there's a lot of mess involved in that, and for those of you who have perfected that way of doing it, it's fine to go ahead and get the results that you like. But personally, I'm not going to go with the wet systems. And then there's the electrostatic, which is, we know, is the best, because that's a way it's done in shops to get parts like this powder coated so nicely. It takes a lot of equipment, and you're spraying the powder, and you need to have a place to spray it and this kind of thing. So until we get more into that, let's let that go for now. For the meantime, we want to have a lot of bullets powder coated, a bulk powder coating system, and that's what we're looking for at this time. A lot of powder coaters like to just do the hand tumble without the heat, and the bullets get the powder on there fine and they go ahead and bake it. But what happens when it doesn't work? In my case, I did about 1,500 bullets just going like this and then into the oven, and it worked fine. But then, for some unexplained reason, a batch would not get the powder to stick. I don't know if it's the way the moon was, the planets were aligned, whatever it was, the charges of static would not build up, so the powder would not stick. And yes, I tried doing the heat because we got the oven, so you kind of think, well, maybe if I heated the bullets up, they would stick. So what I did was I put it in probably, as I recall, around 175 degrees. It seemed like that was hot enough, but it didn't stick at all. I might as well have been doing it without the heat. Well, with your system, Elvis, of doing the 140 degrees, I didn't try that. And now I'm going to have to go back and give that a try at 140, because if it works fine, then you got something there that we can use. So as for vibratory tumblers, we've seen some casters and reloaders do it with an orbital sander. We've seen some use a container like this one and put the bullets in there with the powder and then put this into the vibratory tumbler, have it go around, and I tried that, it didn't work. We've even seen cement mixers being used to tumble powder on the bullets. Now we don't need to do that, but what happened was Gun Fund ZS, I owe him a big debt of gratitude, because what happened was his way of powder coating was to pour the bullets into a vibratory tumbler, and then the powder would stick that way, and then put him into a big container, into a big oven, and he would process a lot of bullets real fast that way. And so I tried that, and it worked real well, enough so that I found it to be very reliable. I wanted to tell everybody about it so that they can do it themselves and achieve success. And a good, reliable way of getting their powder-coated bullets to stick. And I've done enough bullets that way with the tumbler that it's reliable. It works. So Elvis Ammo, even though your heat system requires the extra steps of doing the 140 degrees to manipulations to get that to work, there's extra effort there, but that's worth it if we can get powders such as the white to really work well. This, as you know, the white doesn't really give us that nice powder coat that we would like to see with the white, with the vibratory system. If your heat system will get this to work, then we owe this a try. I'm going to try that. Your system with the 140 degrees for 4 minutes, and then put it into the white. And if the powder coats onto the bullets in a way that I'll recognize right away, if it coats the way we want it to, into the oven it goes. We should have success. Looking forward to that, actually. One thing though is that Elvis Ammo, what you've kind of highlighted, is that doing it with the heat treatment for 4 minutes frees up your vibratory tumbler to go back to using the walnut shells and dry tumbling the tumbler for that purpose. And one thing that I'd like to point out to all the viewers out there is that really we don't want to do the dry tumbling, cleaning, polishing of our brass casings any longer. But really it's a health issue, because the first time you do the wet tumbling and you see the filthy water, just one time, every time you get that filthy water, you realize how bad the concentration of lead and other debris from the powder burn and all that kind of stuff is going into the brass casings. And you all know when we do the dry tumbling what kind of dust comes out of there when we're pouring that around. That dust is very hazardous. Not only that, but that dust is on your brass casings, and we're handling them, whether we're using gloves or not. It's going into the air and we're close to that. Why be exposed to that kind of thing? It is a severe problem. And so the vibratory tumbler, the highest use of those now for us is to do powder coating, not for tumbling brass with the dry. So let's kind of feature that because that's important for our health. And for all of you newer reloaders out there and younger reloaders, you can do a whole career of doing the wet tumbling and never being exposed to all that dry dust that's concentrating that lead and powder residue for us to be exposed to. So Elvis Ammo, what I really like is that you've given us another alternative, an option, and it's good to have that. Especially if we're getting some great results with the white, this kind of thing, be completely worth it. So I look forward to giving your system a try. Bye for now.